All right, we want to welcome you to Mountain Mamas to learn about cross-country skiing techniques. And luckily, this last month, a lot of you gals went cross-country skiing, so that's fantastic. You've learned a lot of really cool skills. Those of you gals who didn't, we're going to just teach you some stuff, and so hopefully you'll be caught up with all the other gals. And there's a ton of awesome YouTube videos about cross-country skiing, and I'll put links and stuff on the outline that we're going to be doing that I will be posting after this, so you can look more up, and that'll be awesome. So first, if I want to just talk to you, there's multiple kinds of skiing. So there's the downhill skiing, which is called alpine skiing, and then there's cross-country skiing, which we're going to talk about. Cross-country skiing is a classics. We're going to talk about classic skiing. And then there's also skate skiing, if you've heard of that. And skate skiers are awesome. Then maybe someday we'll be cool and be able to do that. But skate skis are a little bit different than cross-country skis. Just the classic ones, they're more pointy and they have metal ridges on the edges. They're the people that you see with like that going up hills and their V, like this kind of stuff. So anyway, that's not us. We're gonna be doing the chill cross-country skiing, just kind of nice, easy slope kind of stuff. That's what we're gonna be teaching you guys about today. So first thing is talking about our gear. So I have to apologize. Our living room's in construction zone right now. So, and I have a dog that's in the kitchen who's being trapped against her will. So you might hear her. All right. So we have, first thing is cross-country ski boots. You'll notice these are obviously much different than a downhill ski boot. They're a lot more flexible. They're almost like a regular boot. They have a little bit of an ankle, which is really nice because you're going to have snow that's going to be coming up on the side. So we want to have a high ankle. And then you'll notice that these ones have a bar. Back in the day, they had 3 pins. If any of you guys remember those, so great. Such a pain. So now everything has a bar. These are all the things that you're going to see in rentals and stuff for beginner stuff. And so the bar is actually going to be what clips into your ski. And then you're only attached to your ski by this one little point, which keeps your heel up, which allows you to step, which is kind of nice. So that's your boot. A lot of times we recommend when you're cross-country skiing to wear a gaiter, and that's just a piece of fabric that goes around your ankle, and it will go from this area. Usually it wraps around the top of your boot and goes up to your mid-calf, and that keeps snow from getting inside your boot. And I highly recommend it if you're on a cross-country ski trail that's not groomed. If you're just going to be going up in the hills and just going on a road that you thought was cool, I'd probably recommend having a gaiter, just because you're going to probably be in areas that are a little bit snowy and get snow inside of your boots and things like that. So that's your boot. And the shoe size is just the same as a regular shoe size. Then we've got the skis. All right, and you'll see that this tip of the ski is rounded. Let me see if you can see it that way. So that's just a standard look for a cross-country ski, a classic cross-country ski. On the bottoms of your skis, there's these plastic scales. And these scales is what helps you to go up and hopefully not slide too much back. But that's about all you're gonna get on a cross-country ski, are these little ridges to keep you from sliding down the hill. And then this is your binding right here. It's super simple. And you'll notice there's usually a little rubber bumper thing here. And it has 2 metal prongs that come down. And that's where you're going to be clipping in your little bar of your boot. And that clips in there. And then that's going to just stay on there. And then when you're skiing, it's going to pivot like this. And then if you need it to take it out, that's what this little gray button is. You take your ski pole and you're going to push that, and it pops off your ski. Does that make sense? So cross-country skis are so easy, so easy. And then you've got your cross-country ski poles. Now these poles are usually a lot more lighter weight than a regular hiking pole or a downhill ski pole. And they're also going to be a little taller. With a regular hiking pole, we tell you to make sure that, you want your arm to be at a 90-degree angle, and then your hand, this is what's holding the grip of your cross-country ski. With your regular hiking pole, with a cross-country ski pole, we want it to be a little bit more of an acute angle. That's giving you more height to push behind you. So these poles will be a little bit higher. So just notice when you're looking for a pole, if you're picking up rentals or anything like that, you want it just to be a little bit higher. They have these little baskets at the end, and sometimes you can get across just a regular hiking pole that comes with these little screw-on baskets, but this protects the ski pole from actually getting stuck too far in the snow. If you decide to cross-country ski with hiking poles, and do not put this on, and it's deep, you'll just one stroke, you'll be gone, and your pole is in the snow, and it's a pain to get it out. So anyway, and then also with the grips, these little handles, this is super important to take a moment before you get into your skis too much and adjust these. Now, essentially, I learned this on an awesome video, that you want to have your gloved hand to be it's like a little rabbit. It goes up through the hole and then hugs the tree. And that is how we hold a cross-country ski pole. And so you want your grip to be right here, and you want the strap to be nice and snug. So if you do that, you can just have that nice and clip. This one is a clip. A lot of times you have to feed it through. They're all a little bit different, but the whole idea is that, you know, when you're done, you have a nice solid grip, and then you can actually use these as leverage. I feel like in downhill skiing, you kind of use them, but in, you know, for balance and things like that, depending on what kind of terrain and stuff you're doing. But in cross-country skis, you really, really do use these, especially the more you get out and start using them. All right, so we're gonna sort of do a little bit of cross-country skiing in the living room. So give me a moment here. We're gonna put on our boots. All right. That's my cue. Sorry, if we were awesome, we would have filmed this during the day and taken you out into the hills like all those other cool YouTube videos. But we are just, this is living room skills. All right. Do any of you guys have questions about cross-country skiing or thoughts or anything? A lot of you gals have already been doing this for a while, so that's pretty awesome. All righty. Okay. So we've got our shoes on nice and snug. There is not a left or a right with cross-country skis. You don't have to worry about that. I'm gonna put my little tip in. And it's always easier when you're not on icy snow, right? You'll know that they went in, they go in pretty easily. And you know they're in because, you know, feel that. And there's a little curve to them. You'll notice that they're bowed, so they're a little higher here than on the ends. That is normal, it's normal ski. All right, so the first thing I recommend when somebody is getting on their skis is just to put them on. Turn it up so you can see my whole body. All right. All right, guys, we're a little tech today. All right, so the first thing you want to do is I usually recommend just standing on your skis and just seeing what it's like to have these slippery sticks under your feet. And usually recommend just kind of like doing a little step and shuffle and just kind of feeling that movement of the snow underneath your feet. There was a really awesome cross-country ski instructor who said that is a great place to start, is just with a shuffle. So you get so you got your poles, you got your skis on, and what you're gonna start doing, let's put our little hands on our straps. And a lot of times when we're gonna be doing beginner cross-country ski runs, we're gonna have them in a groomed trail. And a groomed trail has 2 long grooves just for your skis to sit in and be nice and snug. And that's really great for beginners because it helps your skis from just going ski wampus all over. So you'll put your little skis in little ski grooves or on the flat ski snow, and you're just gonna practice just doing a little bit of a step. And it's just kind of a shuffle step. So we're doing a little shuffle, 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 shuffle step. Now, that's a great place to start and feel comfortable. And then
either your face or your feet. I don't know.
Yeah.
You gotta choose.
Do you want to show my feet? So the next step, once you've done the shuffle, is the step slide. So you're going to do some shuffle, 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 and then hold one foot up for a little bit, then shuffle, 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 and then hold the other foot up. And when you do that, you're gonna start feeling that momentum, and that foot is gonna slide. It's the best feeling ever. And a lot of times we recommend doing this without your poles at first, just to kind of feel what that feels like. So we're gonna shuffle, 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 slide, shuffle, 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 slide. And then after a while, you can start doing step, step, on a longer slide, step, step, slide, step, step, slide. And then you move on to a step, slide, step, slide, step, slide. So those are kind of the steps that you're going to be working on with cross-country skiing. All right, you can go up. Thank you. All right, of course, this makes so much more sense when we're on the snow. Well, hopefully some of these will be little good tips. Now, the second thing is your poles. When you're ready to add your poles, there's two ways to use your poles. You want to first, when you can engage them both at the same distance. Just right here, you want to make sure that the tips are going right to the front of your boot or where your binding is. And then you're just doing a push like that, and you push forward. And that is totally fine. It's just nice, basic way to just move forward. When you kind of mastered that, then the next step would be to start doing the diagonal. So what I recommend is it's just walking it like, you're fine. Doing it kind of like you would walking. You know, if you want to just hold your poles for a little bit and practice that shuffle, you'll start noticing, okay, my hands naturally feel like this is how they should be walking if I'm walking. And that's exactly the same pattern you're going to be doing when you're using your poles. And then you're going to start engage that pole a little bit in front of your toe and push and glide and push and glide. Sorry, that's the best I think I can do in a living room. But just know that cross-country skiing is super fun, super easy way to start. Some extra little tips that I want to share. You're not always going to be on an awesome flat surface the whole time. So sometimes you're going to have an uphill and sometimes you're going to have downhills. The principle for getting uphill is you can do two ways to get uphill, probably three ways. One of them is if you get going fast enough, you can just push yourself up. That's a way to get over little up little hills. If it's a little bit more steep, you can actually start putting your skis in a V. I want to show this. So if you're going uphill, I'll just have a V like this. And I actually want to push in on the inside edge of my ski, and that provides a little bit of, it's cutting into the hill and gets me some traction. And I'm going like, you know, a V to get up. And then if the hill is really, really steep, then I will go perpendicular to the slope. So say like, these are my skis and the slope is going up towards you. And I'm just gonna step up the mountain like this with the inside edges cutting into the mountain to give me some stability. So those are the three ways to get up a hill. Now coming down, it's very similar. We could do the same thing where we just put our skis in the grooves and we just go for it. And that's totally fine. That's what the Olympians do. And they have their little poles and they just go down for it. The other thing is if you feel like you're going too fast, you can do the reverse V. So that would be like this. And we're pushing in the inside edge and doing the same thing. And that's going to help us to brake as we come down. And there's another technique that you can, if you're coming around a corner with the hill, you can put the inside ski in that ski groove. And then the outside ski is doing that V to kind of slow you down. So I'll put some links with some awesome videos that explains way better. But just know there's ways to stop when you're going down. And obviously, if you really had to stop, I always recommend you can just go down on the side. So you take your poles, try not to impale yourself, and just fall on your left butt cheek, down here to the side. You want to avoid twisting your knees, ankles, anything like that. Now, most people are going to eventually find themselves on the ground for cross-country skiing just because you're just going to fall. It's just going to happen. They're slippery sticks. So there's a few ways to get up from falling if you've been skiing or if you've fallen down. So I'm gonna share Charlene's first. This is kind of fun. She recommends, this is called the turtle. I think it's better if you don't have a really big backpack on, but this is a technique. Charlene's one of our lead guides, and she teaches this at Pivot to teenagers. And this is the technique that she uses. So we've fallen sprawled, usually it's a sprawl, and we're on the ground like this. So we take our skis, and she lifts them up like this and holds them, and you rock, right, and then find yourself up like this, like this. So you've rolled over, and then you're like this, and that's it. So that's called the turtle. It's super entertaining for all your friends, and you feel like a goofball, but it's possible. So it's a nice, easy way to get up. The other way to get up is I have sprawled. I'm usually like this, and I've lost my poise, who knows? So what I want to do is get both skis together. And hopefully, if I'm on a slope, that I'm perpendicular to that slope. Otherwise, I'm going to just slide down. So I'm just myself to get perpendicular. I put the inside edges towards down in the hill. And then I'm going to take my poles. I usually put them in one hand. And I want to get forward onto my knees like this. And then get up on one knee. And at this point, this is a good place to use your poles. And I don't pull them all the way up. I use them about halfway, like this. And then I step up, if that makes sense. So, I know, everyone go out and practice. Anyway, so hopefully that's a few techniques and tricks that'll help you with cross-country skiing. Way more effective in the snow than the living room, but lots of fun to practice if you want to in the living room. Do any of you guys have any questions?
Can you explain skins for cross-country skiing? Like why to use them?
So skins, I'm trying to think. Do you want to go grab some out of the?
Sure.
Yeah, great question. So skins are not used in cross-country skiing. For cross-country skiing, the way we go up is we have these little, scales on the bottom of our skis. Now, if you want to backcountry ski, usually that's done on a fatter downhill ski. And it's backcountry skiing is a way of accessing the beautiful powder in the mountains under your own power. So obviously in a downhill lockdown ski binding, you can't move your ankle, and so there's no way for you to go up. So they have bindings, they're called alpine touring bindings or telemark bindings, where they are attached at the toe, just like a cross-country ski. So they're called having a free heel. So it allows you to step up the mountain you have bigger boots, they're downhill boots, but they pivot to provide some flexion, and allows you to step up just like you would on cross-country skiing up the mountain. Now, obviously, with downhill or with alpine touring or telemark skis, you're doing mountains you're trying to be a lot more aggressive on the hills that you're attacking. And usually you go up in a zigzag way up these big slopes, or you're skiing up ridge lines. And the way to keep your skis from sliding back down you have these things called skins. And so this is what you put on the bottom of your ski. These, hold on a sec. So you'll see this is a synthetic. They actually they're called skins because they were used to use seal skin. So the idea is that it's very thin, it's smooth one way and then hard the other way. It's just like, this is a synthetic fabric. But the idea is that those little hairs catch the snow. So one way I'm smooth going up, and then when I stop, those little hairs catch the snow. So it allows my ski to keep from going up. And these are attached to the skis by this really, really sticky glue. And essentially this would go on the bottom of a downhill, of an alpine touring ski, or a telemark ski. So obviously these are big, these are my powder skis. So these are really fat. But this sticks, this hook's on the tip of the ski, and then this sticks all the way and then clips at the end. And that keeps your skis from going down the mountain, from sliding down. So anyway, so yeah, that's more of a backcountry ski
So
technique.
I do go cross-country skiing with a friend of mine, and we do skins on the cross-country skis.
Oh, awesome.
They look, I wonder if I don't know if that's gonna work for anybody. Not really. I don't know how to get a good angle. Okay, that's not gonna work. But they're like these cool, maybe 2-foot Velcro-y fluorescent things that you attach to the center of the cross-country ski. It's underneath where your foot goes. And it's like this little Velcro-y thing. It's very similar to the way that the skins work that you were just explaining for the backcountry, but they work for cross-country skis.
Awesome.
And it's kind of glorious if you're a beginner, because going down those hills when you're brand new, like stopping in cross-country skis is scary. And so to use skins, it gives you a little bit more confidence if you're going up a hill. Anyway, and you could take them off at any time for, if you're going on a flat and you want to cruise, you can take them off. But anyway, I'm a fan of them, but I don't know anywhere that rents them.
Yeah.
I've only used them when people have purchased, people like friends of mine that just have skins on their cross-country skis. But anyway, it's just like a nice little way to, you feel a little bit more bionic, like you can go up stuff with more confidence, or you can be slowed down going down something with a little bit more confidence.
Awesome. Yeah, I would probably recommend something like that if you're doing a lot of more aggressive cross-country skiing. You're doing a lot of hills, a lot of ups and downs. That would probably be a great thing to add to your cross-country ski setup. I think if you're just doing mostly golf courses, kind of what we did recently, what you've got and those little scales on the bottom of your skis will be just fine. But yeah, if you want to do something a little bit more aggressive, that's a great idea, Mary. Thank you so much. Any questions from anyone else? Jess, was that a question? No. All right, well, want to thank you guys so much for joining us for our Zoom meetings and trainings today. Hopefully you've learned a couple things, and we are so excited to play and have fun with you guys this winter, and have a wonderful evening.